Let's talk for a moment now about private pilot limitations. What can I do and what can't I do as a private pilot? Let's start with the popular check ride question of what can I not do as a private pilot? A private pilot cannot, like we talked about for our student pilot limitations, fly persons or property for compensation or hire. I cannot fly packages, I cannot fly people, individuals, for compensation or hire. What I can do with those people, though, is I can split the costs. However, I cannot pay less than my pro rata share. Fuel, oil, rental fees, that sort of stuff. If you and I went flying, you're a private pilot, and we want to split the costs, I, as your passenger, cannot pay more than you. You'd be making money off of that. We have to split what's called the pro rata share. Fuel, oil, rental expenses. Those are the sort of things that encompass that. We've got to split it evenly. You cannot make money and profit being a private pilot. That's what the commercial pilot certificate is for. Now, what can you do as a private pilot? Here's some interesting things you may not know or realize digging deeper into the regulations. As a private pilot, you can demonstrate an airplane to a potential buyer if you, the private pilot, has at least 200 hours. You could work as an aircraft salesman or demonstrate an aircraft for sale if you have at least 200 hours. You're going to profit from that sale. So it's kind of a little bit of gray area in making money in aviation. What else can we do as a private pilot? You can tow a glider in accordance with 6169 in our FARs. You can actually tow a glider. 6169 talks about the requirements you need experience-wise to actually tow that glider. And the last one is now you can fly and act as PIC in connection with a business or employment if that flight is incidental to the business or employment. Let's use that $1 million deal in Atlanta, again, like we did with our student pilot limitations. Now as a private pilot, you can do that. However, if the flight is incidental, doesn't have anything to do with that $1 million deal in Atlanta. For example, you're going to get that deal in Atlanta whether you drive there or whether you fly there. It doesn't matter. Flying is just your means and your mode of transportation to get to that meeting. Then flying for business purposes is acceptable. You don't have to be a commercial pilot to do that. However, if your deal in Atlanta is contingent on you flying in there, if you don't fly in, you don't get that deal, well then now you're flying and operating as a commercial pilot and you're really operating in some gray area. If there were to be an accident, you're going to be in some hot water. So as long as the business or employment, flying is just your means of getting to the meeting. The meeting will go on whether you drive, fly, walk, ride your bike, doesn't matter how you get there. Flying is just your means of transportation to that meeting. Some private pilot cans and some private pilot cannot. Very, very popular check ride question. Make sure you understand what you can and cannot do as a newly minted private pilot.